Uh, I'm the Director of Music and Worship Arts here at Living Word Lutheran Church in Katy, Texas, and we've been doing this every Tuesday just to kind of lift the spirits on some people, and also so you can get a chance to request real time on Facebook of some of your favorite hymns. And I enjoy kind of just making up some arrangements, see what comes out. So today, as you know, each week we have a special composer of the week. And this week we have a duo we're going to be doing. And I'll tell you about that a little later. So before we start, I just want to say hello to a few people. Welcome to Mary Lou Volin. Welcome. Michael Padilla. We have Sharon Gursky. Amy Dopkar. Excuse me. Dodapkar, sorry about that. I shouldn't get that wrong. Hi, Karen Scogan. Cheryl Diaz from Connecticut listening. Nice to see you again, Cheryl. Thanks for tuning in. Agnes Kai from Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania. You know, it's really, you read more and more about the news. I was reading a lot last night. And it seems like it's just never ending, but it was a good music can be very healing, I know, for me and hopefully for you. So please send your request in today, and please share this link. I'm trying to just reach more people each week who may be interested. I mean, don't spam people, but send it to people you know that might enjoy hymns or just music from the church. And we love to have them on the show. So anyway, let's get started. Excellent is thy name, O Lord. And we used to do that a lot back east at the Baptist Church. Thanks goes to Agnes Kai today. This one's called I the Lord of Sea and Sky. Great song. Here I am, Lord, send me. All right, we're getting something from Amy today. And we all know this song, so I'm not even going to introduce it. Something like that. Let me say a few more hellos before we do another. Nancy Brewster, thanks for joining today. We have someone from the Netherlands, Helene. And Helene, I'm not going to butcher your last name, but I'll just say Helene for today. Thank you for joining. Friend of Pastor Emmanuel's, who we've kind of connected on Facebook. Thank you for joining. You must be about 4 o'clock there, but thank you for taking your afternoon with us. A couple more hellos. I'd like to get out to, I'm sorry, let me do this with one hand. Not working so well, okay. Amy Schmidt, thank you. I wasn't sure which Amy had asked for that. Hi, Sherry Vogel and my mother. A shout out to my mother. Hello, Heather from Philadelphia. Steve Gallus, a very loyal listener. Hello, Janine Phillips. How are you feeling? Nice to have you. Barbara Mills is back from Ardmore, Pennsylvania. And Joyce Busby, she said, Barry played at our wedding reception 30 years ago. Still awesome. Thank you for the kind words, Joyce. She is one of my earliest church family. I still remember Salem United Methodist Church in Pleasantville. Her and her brother David, I remember. This is a bit of trivia, Joyce, but David was one that taught me how to make paper balloons to keep me quiet during church service. But great family friend. Thanks for joining, Joyce. And I think that's it for right now. I am going to, and Mary Copeland, I'm sorry. Cheryl Diaz asked for something from our Trinity group. Would love to hear. That's a good call. We used to sing in high school at Central Methodist Church. We used to sing in a group called Trinity where we would travel and sing with tracks all around to different churches. It was a great experience, and Cheryl was involved with me. So Cheryl, let me put it in the thinking tank and I'll get you something. For now, I think we're going to do In the Garden. My mother asked, and I didn't get her on last week, so let me get something out for her, right? Get all excited. Jesus Christ is still the King of Kings. It's funny how those songs come around because I used to do that song also with my Baptist church back in Philadelphia. So some of the really good songs are just timeless. Hello to one of my best friends, Rich Galassini from Cunningham Piano. We were college roommates and lifelong friends. Thanks for listening, Rich. And my sister Jill from out in San Diego. Let's see here if we got somebody I missed. I try to get everybody in here. Agnes. Martha Grant is back from New Jersey. Hi, Martha. And she said, Faith of Our Fathers. Okay, well, we got Father's Day coming up. I guess we can do that one. Let's see what we got here. Faith of Our Fathers. I'll tell you, it's been, this whole COVID thing, it's been more and more challenging as a father with your kids home all day, you know, but it's also been rewarding. Hi, Steve Gallus, another faithful listener. How are you, sir? He's asking for one of the Lutheran national anthems here. A mighty fortress is our God. Let's see what we got here. I recorded this several years ago, but I kind of want to go a different route. Let's see. Boy, that song remembers, my earliest memories are David and Goliath at like 6:30 in the morning. Those of you who are old enough to remember that. Before church, we would turn that on. There was, excuse me? Say it again? Okay, another good Lutheran hymn, okay. But I'm going to do that in just a second. We had a request for Lift High the Cross, but I'm going to switch it up a little bit, and you will get that. Sherry Grimes from Philly. Hi, Sherry. Wow, that's a blast from the past. Hello, Pastor Ariel and Nick Jackson, Steve Gallus, Britt Larson watching. Hi, Allison Liso. Allison is quite an amazing singer in herself, and she's been very active here for during Holy Week and other times. She's just always willing to come in and sing. What a beautiful voice. Thank you, Barbara. I think one of the things about COVID and doing live stream, it's, work as a church musician, you're working 50 hours out of the week. So it's been nice to kind of stay at home in bed and kind of surf church, if so to speak. Been able to see a lot of different church services from different places, and sometimes it's great to just to get a different perspective on things. Craig Charger, how are you? That's a good one. Stand up. Another great hymn that kind of crosses all the hymn books. Let's see, it's about 11:36, and I want to talk about if you could bring that slide up, Ephraim. This was very interesting. Usually on Monday nights, I do a lot of some research on some hymn writers of the last couple centuries, and they all have a really interesting story. This one really caught my eye and heart the most, and it was a team of writers actually, which was not uncommon. The first one was John Newton, very famous writer. If you've heard of Amazing Grace, and I just gave away one of my songs, but And his partner, in writing partner, was William, I think they were saying Cooper, it's spelled Cowper, C-O-W-P-E-R. And both of them had a very interesting story, which I'd like to share with you just for a moment. And let me just fold this up here. I did take some notes here. Oops, give me a second here, guys. We'll put it right here, yeah. Okay, so again, the names John Newton and William Cowper, both born in the early 1700s. So I'll tell you their story in a nutshell. John Newton, of course, the more famous of the two. He was born to a clergyman in 1725. He was forced to serve in the Royal Navy on a slave ship, and eventually became captain of his own slave ship. However, the interesting part of the story is that he became convicted and actually renounced slavery, gave it up, and became an abolitionist, an evangelical preacher in 1764. His writing partner, William Cowper, was born in 1731, also in England, and he was a poet who wrote about everyday life. His mother died. He had some of his own trials. And I have to mention that John Newton did go blind later on in life. But anyway, William Cowper, his mother died at age 2. 7 of his 9 siblings all died at birth. His father was a rector, and his aunt was a poet. And he had his own demons he was wrestling with. He spent much of his life in and out of institutions for insanity, depression, several suicide attempts. But it's amazing how God brought these two people together in 1763, just before John became a priest. They became friends, two unlikely people with their own story. But they wrote this book. You can Google this. It's called The Olney Hymns. And at the time, John was a preacher. He was preaching to the everyday person, the common person of that time. So they would write hymns, or a lot of the hymnals would write the words, and they would use different songs, and they do it today in several churches today. They'll use different melodies for the same words. But anyway, these two gentlemen published this book that was called The Olney Hymns, published in 1779. And it had several popular hymns. I'm going to play a couple of them today, and hopefully you can guess them. But it was, when they wrote this thing, it was to kind of reflect on their friendship and the brokenness that they had. And it's amazing, it also said that it's amazing how God can use two broken lives to bring such a great work out together. Unfortunately, William died from dropsy later in his life, but it was just a lot of rough times both of them dealt with. But like I said, this book, The Olney Hymns, was quite sometimes we do things, when we're doing things for God, that are beyond ourselves, you know. So anyway, that was my lesson today for myself, and I share with you is how we're all broken in some way. But God will use you. So I'm going to play a little medley, see if you can guess this. I gave away the first one, so that was Amazing Grace. There's 2 more you're going to have to guess. And if you can text me in on Facebook, let me know what these are. I will send you a CD. So this is the one you do know. did anybody get it? Someone said, were you there? Oh, that's just, okay. She's just making a request. So those two songs were, of course, Amazing Grace, There is a Fountain Filled with Blood, and the third one was Glorious Things of Thee Are Spoken. So didn't get anybody on that one today, but that's all right. So Mary Colpin, were you there? Beautiful song. Oh, thank you. From Mike. I forgot about that, Mike. Yes. Lift High the Cross. It's another very seasonal song here at Living Word. And what a great message. All right, Steve. All right. Thank you, Ephraim. Yes, today my assistant here at church, Chelsea Lerner, is away today. She is having a birthday today, so I don't know if she's listening, but we can get something on for her. And Ephraim, give me a second, I got to think of that one. Once again, thanks for the team here who's here every week with me. I don't always say it, but Ephraim Danforth, Raphael Suarez, and Marlon Simon, you have no idea what goes on 10 minutes before we go on, so I'll leave it at that. But I am grateful for them to help out. I think, see if we have any more that I missed in here today. I always like to make sure I get Millie Morris. All right, from EHT, okay, at Carver Township. Wonderful. My roots back in Jersey. I see if I miss anybody. Pastor Emmanuel's on today. Thank you, Pastor, for listening. He's got a great show, by the way. I got to just say this. It's called Faith Walk in the Morning, and it's on Mondays and Thursday. And man, that guy really has some wisdom, and he's like walking 2 miles every day. So, but while he's walking, what comes out of his mouth, it's really some reflective things and something pertinent for all of us. So I keep saying I'm going to be walking with him, but Pastor, I have to confess, I don't walk every time, but I do listen. So check him out, Mondays and Thursdays, right here on our Facebook station. I'm going to do one this. My grandmother loved this song. His Eyes on the Sparrow. That was my grandmother, Shemps. She used to love that song. Okay, we have time for one more. It's 11:57. Again, I want to thank those who are first-time listeners today to Musical Moments, and I try to get a reminder out each week. It's a little time-consuming, but if you can, share this to some of your friends today and get the word out. They can listen to it anytime. I mean, of course, they can only make requests live, but they can listen. Maybe we can have them back next week. So, thank you, Joyce, for that comment. Yes. So we have time for one more. Does anyone have anything out there? Let's see what we have. Thank you, Mary, for sharing. It really does make a difference. Let's see, we have one more here. I'm going to do, this is another spiritual that we did it, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago, but it's a nice way to end. I just want to welcome you once again, and actually tomorrow night at 6:30 I'm doing a little Brazilian live stream that I just wanted to tell you about. Go to my site later on if you'd like to know about it. I'm not going to tell you about it here, but once again, thanks for everyone for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you for joining us for today's Musical Moments with Barry Sams. We'll be back again next Tuesday at 11 a.m. for a time of music, reflection, and of course, we'll be taking your requests live in real time. Be sure to join us Wednesday for Pastor Bible Study at 9:30 a.m. online, on Facebook, Vimeo, or our website. Every Sunday, join us at 8, 9:15, or 11 a.m. for our virtual worship community. At 8 a.m., we'll share a traditional worship service with music, scripture, and a message from our pastor. At 9:15, join us for a live interactive Bible study where we'll be taking your questions live. This Sunday, we'll be joined by a special guest, the Bishop of our Synod, Bishop Michael Reinhardt. And again at 11 a.m., join us for our blended interactive worship service. Information on these and all of the many virtual events and opportunities taking place at Living Word can be found on our website, www.livingwordkaty.org, or on our Facebook page. Thank you for joining us for Musical Moments with Barry Sames. We hope you have a blessed and beautiful week.